What's good, everybody? Day 8 NFL preview. Is this the last one? Let me know what other videos, content y'all want me to make here coming up, but let's get to it. NFC West. I don't have a whole lot to say here on this team. I think this team is shaping up to be pretty bad once again. I was very surprised to see that they let Jacoby Brissett hold out or hold in on him all offseason when this guy went 1-11 as a starter last year. So he held out for a higher contract, and they somehow gave it to him when really they need to be tanking and starting Carson Beck the whole season. Let me say this. I'm very disappointed in how Marvin Harrison's played so far in his career. It just hasn't. Him and Kyler didn't have no connection. Then once the season goes on last year with Brissett, Michael Wilson looked like a better player. So I want to see if Marvin Harrison can break out and be what we, projected him to be coming out of college. Otherwise, you got Trey McBride, all-pro first team. He's, really a great player. Red zone. Actually didn't catch a lot of touchdowns so far in his career, but he finally broke that curse. But catches a ton of passes, run after the catch, really can do everything as a tight end. On to the defense. Let's take a look here. Man, I don't even have my notes pulled up on this NFC West shit. The defense, can Walter Nolan stay healthy? He had a good first game against Dallas last year, but other than that, he was hurt and didn't play much. 27th ranked defense last year, so And then Josh Sweat's been holding out. I believe he wants to be traded, so I don't know what the status is there. Again, this team's getting last place, and I'm moving on here. I'm sorry, Cardinals fans, but I don't have much to say. I'm sorry, we back. 1 second. Jeremiah Love, what's he going to do this year as a rookie? Is it going to be another Janty situation in Oakland or where he's not going to Las Vegas, where he's not going to have a lot of space to run? Let's see what Jeremiah Love do. All right, I'm punching back out. The 49ers are here, and I got them finishing third in the division. They did finish, I believe they finished third in the division last year, but they made the playoffs and made a divisional round of the playoffs. Can they get healthy? That's the main thing here with this team, really. I don't know what's going on with Shanahan. He got in a car accident, so I don't think he's been coaching so far in camp. But Kittle had an Achilles last year. This O-line, they just revolving door injuries for the most part. McCaffrey played banged up last year. He did have 1,200 rushing yards and 924 receiving yards from what I have here. So, McCaffrey still proved he can still be an effective player, even though it wasn't very explosive. He didn't have very many 15-yard runs last season. Now, you got a whole new group of receivers in here now with another injury to Ricky Pearsall's out for the season now. You brought in Mike Evans from Tampa. You brought back Debo, and I don't know what his role is going to. I guess he's going to have his old role here from a few years ago. You got Christian Kirk. You got the rookie Striblin from, I believe, Ole Miss. So I don't know about this team, man. I do think they have talent, but you're getting a lot of guys back from injury. Nick Bosa, former DPOY, he'll be back this season. Fred Warner, he'll be back as well. So I don't love what I see here. If everything goes right again, I think they can be a good team. But it's just, I don't know, man. I am a fan of Brock Purdy. I think he's been pretty good. I think this is year 4 for him as a starter. And even though he has limitations, he stands in there in the pocket and he can make throws really to a lot of different places in the field. I think he's a good player. But he does have some limitations as a thrower. Defensively, you did lose Michael Williams for the season in camp the other day. So you depended on a lot of guys you need to step up here. And you traded for Osa from the Cowboys. So I do, it's some talent here, but a lot of it's returning from injury. So how can they reacclimate themselves to the team? And can they get back to the playoffs? They've been knocking on the door for a long time. But I don't know if I expect the same result as last year, unfortunately, for 49ers fans. Oh, man, here we go. Super Bowl champs. I got them finished second in the division, but this is a loaded football team, man. And if they can get off to a good start and keep things going, they're going to have a good chance to be in the mix again as contenders and maybe even go back-to-back. I know we haven't seen we don't see it too often here in football, back-to-back champions, but this team is juice, man. You got the offensive player of the year, Jackson Smith-Njigba. You got Shaheed, who really brought an element of speed at receiver that wasn't really here before. And then Cooper Kupp, obviously, as a complimentary piece. But, the O-line played well in the playoffs. You thought A lot of people thought Bradford would be a weak spot in the Super Bowl. He held his own. This team really beat the shit out of my team, the Patriots, in the Super Bowl. It was impressive. The Patriots had zero chance in that game after you saw that first sack on the first drive. But this team has stars everywhere defensively, man. DeMarcus Lawrence was good last year. Uchenna Nwosu at outside linebacker. Byron Murphy is going to break out. He's going to be one of the best defensive tackles in the league. Obviously, Leonard Williams has been great. And then you got the DBs, really maybe the two biggest stars on the defense. Nick Imawari, now he'll be a second-year player now, I believe, and also Witherspoon, who's up for a contract. But these guys can cover. They're physical. They really buy into the identity set by their coach, McDonald. Mike McDonald. But this team they physical. They really set the tone. If you don't come ready to play, they're gonna punch you in the mouth. Now, what would a running game look like without Kenneth Walker? You did draft a running back from Notre Dame, Price. So I'm presuming he's gonna be the starter while Charbonnet gets back from injury. But I think this team has as good as chance of anybody to be in the mix, and we'll see what they do here coming up. They do have elite special teams as well. Michael Dixon at punter. They return a lot of kicks. With Shaheed did revamp this special teams a lot. So we'll see what happens here. It's going to be a battle. That game they had with the Rams in the playoffs really was an all-time. One of the best football games you're going to see. So we'll see what happens here. But I'm on to the next team in the list. I think a lot of people are going to say this is the favorite to win the title this year, and maybe for good reason. This team, the Rams, they are absolutely loaded. You got guys everywhere. Receiver, you got Puka, you got Devontae Adams, you got Jordan Whittington, who's been a strong player for them, special teams, and does a good job for them in the red zone, but and blocking wise as well. But the O-line played good last year as well. And then you got Stafford, who late in his career he's really made himself a Hall of Famer here the last 5-6 years of his career. He just won the MVP. So I mean, he was great last year, and Stafford, he just has incredible command of this team. This team, they've traded a lot of picks this offseason to go all in on what they believe is a few last chances at a ring. You wouldn't trade it for Myles Garrett. You traded away Jared Verse, who is a good emerging player. You traded Jared Verse and picks for Myles Garrett. So can this team continue to build off what they did? And, they just couldn't get any hits on Darnold in the playoff game the way you would think they should have. But yeah, this team is loaded up front defensively. Kobe Turner, I got him at 15 sacks the last 2 years playing defensive tackle. Braden Fisk from Florida State, he's been a good player. Poona Ford, long time in the league, but he was good last year. Byron Young, another good pass rusher. Then it sounds like Aaron Donald is on his way back. So this team is going to be, if they stay healthy. Now, a lot of your best players are over 30. So, I mean, they was relatively healthy last year, other than Devontae Adams' hamstring injury before the playoffs. So, can they stay healthy? Can they go on a run? Can they go get another Super Bowl? It'd be their second title in, I believe, 6 years, 5 years. Now, they did trade for 2 new corners because this secondary was twerp team last year, man. They was on their heels all season. You went and got Jalen Watson and Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs. So, is this, and they do overall have some pretty good safeties as well. I like Cam Curl, who used to be in Washington. So I do think this team has a chance to be the main contender in the NFL, but they got to stay healthy, and we got to see what these corners, bring to the team here. They had a lot of special teams issues last year, so we'll see what they do between kicking issues and return issues and having kicks blocked. This team had a lot of issues last season, and they fired a coach in Week 15, a special teams coach in Week 15. So I want to see what they do. But if you have the Rams as the favorite in this league right now, I'm not surprised, and we'll see how it shakes out. This is how I got it finishing out, man. Rams, then Seahawks in that order to make the playoffs. I don't know about that. I mean, I think the 49ers just got too many injuries, man. I think they are a tough team to play against when they're healthy, but it's a lot of injuries over there. Cardinals, tank it up, please. And I want to see this Rams and Seahawks war for the next few years, because those teams it's literally Hollywood every time them teams is on the field, man. I love all 3 of them games that those teams played last year. They all go down to the wire. But yeah, let me know what else videos wise y'all want before the season, but I appreciate y'all watching these past 2 weeks.